Hello, V. You seem like a nice guy. My name is Black Zazul, not to be confused with Charni Zazul. I'm hijacking his channel, but he's fine. Some people have been asking about him. I will go take a picture of him right now. So there's the drunk fuck. As you can see, he always wears a shit ton rings. He has no buggy black eyes, no black horns, and today for some reason he has a fucking purple glove. I don't know why.
So that wasn't on television. That's not newsworthy. What is newsworthy is the gorilla, and it's something interesting. Before I talk about it, I need to point out that I love animals. I have a cat, 2 cats actually.
Zazulia also has 2 cats. See, I knew you were a nice guy.
And before them I had a parrot, and before that I had a hawk.
You had a fucking hawk?
And before the hawk I had some turtles, and before the turtles I had some hamsters.
Parrot, hawk, turtle, hamsters. You know, I'd love to go to a pet store with you. That'd be kind of hilarious. Hey V, are you going to buy a pet today? Yes, I just can't decide if I want a goldfish or black rhino.
I like to eat animals as well, because like some people don't understand. I don't think these people have ever seen a chicken in their life. Like that creature is begging to be killed. It's a crime against nature not to eat the chicken.
Chickens are disgusting and they facilitate the mutation of viruses and they're stupid as shit. They are all these things because we've domesticated them. We took them out of the nature and over generations made them stupid and we cramped them into these disgusting places. They become disgusting. These aren't reasons to eat them though.
And there are these people, the vegans, and they're saying, I live a free life, I don't kill anything. And so they believe that just because a plant doesn't scream when you pluck it, it's not alive. But
I support veganism and I kill things. And yes, plants are alive. They don't have brains, that's the secret.
Even if you like say that, okay, plants don't matter, they're different, they don't matter. If you have a field of grain.
Holy fuck, the field argument? Alright V, I'm going to speed you up because we all know that fields kill a lot of animals.
Okay, in order to have it, you need to spray it with pesticide, and then the birds get sick and they die. A lot of rodents are also going to be killed.
So in the United States, over 50% of the crops grown are given to domestic animals, which in turn are slaughtered for food again. So you need over twice the amount of crops for an animal than you do if you just eat vegetables. Globally, this number is more like 40%, and that doesn't even take into consideration the amount of space the cattle themselves take up, which could also be used to grow crops. Fewer animals overall die in a vegetarian diet, including the ones that die from your field argument. So it doesn't even make any sense. I will post a link and you can see.
It's impossible to live a free life, so just fucking accept it. Alright, but it's this philosophy that, oh, I'm morally superior than you as a human being.
This assumption of moral superiority really bothers me because, of course, I'm surrounded by people who eat meat in my life and I love them. They're dear to me, all of them. And I don't consider myself morally superior because of the diet I've chosen. I do many things that are unethical or what have you, and I'm not in the place to judge somebody because of their diet. I don't know where you're getting this.
I just like not to be anemic and not to have a shitty immune system, because I'm going to work at a hospital so that when you get sick, I get to treat you. I know, but I eat animals. I'm a disgusting person.
Oh, V, you're not a disgusting person, but you're wrong. About 80% of the antibiotics consumed in the United States are consumed by domesticated animals meant for food. This is a huge concern because this contributes to resistant bacteria that can and will infect humans. Studies show vegetarians get as much iron as meat eaters. According to the Harvard Medical School, there is no scientifically proven direct link between lifestyle and enhanced immune function. Vegetarian diets have been thought to decrease the risks of diabetes type 2, heart disease, and cancer. You work at the hospital, I work at the hospital. What are 2 cool things we have in common?
Despite the fact that I eat animals, I'm against the killing of animals just for the sake of killing them. I find that to be disgusting.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say something like,
It's impossible to live a free life, so just fucking accept it.
So why can't you just fucking accept it?
Alright, but it's this philosophy that, oh, I'm morally superior than you as a human being.
So you're morally superior to them as a human?
There's this thing that George Bush used to do, helicopter wolf hunting. I mean, this is fucking wasteful. Why is the point? Why you do this? You know, it's like, Or the case of 5 guys in my town a couple of years ago who beat a cat to death. Why you do this?
They did it because they enjoy it. The health reasons you cited for eating meat is false. In fact, it's more likely the opposite is true. Knowing that, how can you possibly make the distinction between somebody who's eating meat gluttonously? You think it's okay because they're eating it, but they're eating it because they enjoy that. How is that different from some guys in your neighborhood who like to kill a cat? In both cases, the death of the animal was unnecessary. In both cases, they enjoyed what they were doing.
Why? I don't understand. So it's like if you kill something just for the sake of killing it, that's like.
That's why. You never said anything. You just, what's wrong with killing an animal for the sake of killing it? And I'm serious with this question here. It's a philosophical question that I would like you to think about at the very least. This is an interactive map from the World Health Organization. I will leave a link below. It shows how much meat per person per capita each country eats. You can see that the United States eats about 120 kilograms per person per year. Romania eats for about half of that. And other countries like Japan eat much less, and India eats as little as 4.4 kilograms per person per year. If you want to learn more about the health benefits of eating less meat, Google anything that the World Health Organization has said about meat consumption. In fact, now that I've gone ahead and pissed everybody off, let me ask you a question. So, there's this guy eating meat and he doesn't need to eat it for nutritional value, but he enjoys it. You say that's okay. You draw this line between this behavior here, because he's just killing it for the sake of killing it. But what about fucking animals, now that we're on the topic, and I'm serious again? Turns out that bestiality is legal in several countries, including Romania, Russia, Thailand, Philippines, Mexico, Japan, Italy, Hungary, Finland, Brazil, and some more you can read. And 14 states in the United States. Oh look, Texas, no big surprise there, eh? Germany banned bestiality not too long ago, and what's kind of funny is that they have some people fighting to keep it, like this Michael Kjok, chairman of pressure group Zoophile Engagement for Tolerance and Information, Zeta. He states, it is unthinkable that any sexual act with an animal is punished without proof that the animal has come to any harm. Okay, that's kind of hilarious. Now, in my home country of Zazulia, we don't eat animals or fuck them. And I fail to see any meaningful distinction between these three activities. Eating meat that you don't need to eat, killing animals for fun, or fucking them. Can you explain it?
You have these people on social media, which is like that gorilla was taken from its homeland, put in captivity, and then killed to preserve wildlife.
It's fun to make fun of stupid people on the internet. But the fact that you found an article that highlights 3 random dumbasses' tweets should probably be a hint that you have a shitty source. It's no secret your source is biased as fuck, but you can do your own research and make your decision on that.
She has previously argued that it is Islamophobic to oppose ISIS. Well, if it's Islamophobic to oppose ISIS, I think it's your duty to be an Islamophobe.
To be clear, you have no problem condemning ISIS.
Of course not. I've always condemned ISIS and I'll continue to.
13% of Americans are black. And out of those 13%, half of them are male. So let's say like 8%, because I'm going to assume that 1% of the females are also committing violent crime. So 8% of the people in America are committing 50% of the violent crime.
Wrong again. The actual percentage is something more along the lines of 38%, but there is a discrepancy there, and we should take a look at why. I have a feeling it has something to do with a little bit more than race.
You can't tell me that the police is as racist and as sexist all day long, but there are black policemen, there are black judges, there are black mayors. Like, there is a black president, for fuck's sakes. How can you honestly justify that this is sexism and racism?
A black president and boom, racism gone. Again, if you were to spend like 3 minutes doing some internet research, you would find some very interesting studies. For example, they did a study in Chicago where they sent out resumes. Everything was exactly the same except for the name. Some names had black sounding names like Jamal or Deshaun. they found that the black-sounding names were far less likely to receive callback from job interview, and consequently it was more difficult for the black-sounding names to get jobs.
Before I end the video, let me show you what goes on in the real world. What black people actually have to say about the current situation in America.
Everything in Chicago is controlled by the Democratic Party.
Again, you need to check your facts. Your sources are kind of shitty. If you do a little bit of internet research, again, you will find that between 4 and 5% of black people might support Trump, but blacks are overwhelmingly supporting the Democratic Party.
When I look at this video, the problem these people are facing is something I can relate to. I see what poverty does to people.
Okay, now you're critically thinking. Very good for you. You can see that in the United States there's a huge discrepancy among wealth between black and white people, with black people having the poverty rate of about 38.2 for children. That number might sound familiar because that's the actual number of percentage of violent crime that black people commit in the United States. So you can see that there's probably multiple variables here to crime that you should consider, and that also has implications to racism. Finally, in your video, you complained about expenditures to immigration and foreign affairs. Could you please show me a pie chart on any economy to show what slice of the economy that actually is? Because every time I try to look something on federal spending and foreign aid, it's always a very small sliver like this. Anyway, V, if you watched this, I really appreciate it. You seem like a pretty nice guy, and I hope you think about the questions I posed to you. I've subscribed to you, and I look forward to watching more of your videos.